Welcome back again to the part 2 of our beautiful conversation with former Chief Justice of Supreme Court, no, si Hilario Davide. At alam ko po kung napanood ninyo ang part 1 natin, I'm sure you already learned a lot what it is to be in the government services and what it is to have this position where people trust you a lot. For me, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a politician. Makikita niyo po na i-inspired na po ako na we can still have hope, you know, with our government. Trust them. We have to learn to trust them by choosing the best people. Kung ano pa yung pag-uusapan namin, learn from Chief Justice, kung ano pa yung pwede niya i-share sa atin, how he mix faith, you know, spirituality, morality, and government service or public service, kung paano niya na-mix ito, yan po ang ingredient to become a successful, to have a happy marriage life, 54 years with 3 generations and a loving wife who always stood beside him. No? Importante, dito nakikita ko sa part 1 na aming maganda interview, everything starts from the family. So yan po, umpisahan po natin yan at pakinggan ninyo ang aming itutuloy na magandang conversation. Wala pong controversy dito, but only to learn. Your Excellency, yung part 1 natin, I learned something from you, no? Tapos nakita ko po ang role ni Cardinal Vidal. Napaka-importante. Parang naging advisor, consultant ninyo siya, di ba?
Practically spiritual director for us in our
imagine.
family.
And you said every Christmas, hindi natatapos ang Christmas kung hindi nyo siya nabibisita. So from Supreme Court Justice, nakita natin, umalis po kayo na intact ang image nyo, kahit na alam natin, very controversial. But the power of prayers, silent prayers, and guidance, nakatulong po, di ba?
Definitely.
Oo. Ngayon, na-appoint po kayo after that sa United Nations. This is totally different, no? From Supreme Court to United Nations as our ambassador, di ba? Ito, world, global na po
192
ito.
countries at the time.
Yes, imagine, di ba? But we need, like the late former ambassador Carlos P. Romulo, highly respected.
Yes.
You are another
He was known
one,
as
no?
Mr. UN, as a matter of fact.
Yes, and you came also, another one that we also heard a lot of good news about you, di ba? So, hindi po madali ito. Pero the experience that you have must help you a lot in understanding the problems of the world.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, being a former Chief Justice, I was able to, in a sense, use my knowledge of law, my knowledge of justice in the UN itself. And that is why within my first year, I even served as a Vice President of the General Assembly. And at one time, I was designated by the President Khalifa then as acting president for the time. But I headed many committees there, especially on sustainable development, environmental control, justice, and the main thrust of my work there really would be almost all around. So meaning to say, widen scope and global yet ang activities there. And my experience in the Supreme Court helped me a lot. When I was the Chief Justice, I was so concerned about how justice work in the Philippines.
Yes.
And that was the reason why immediately after my appointment, I put up my mission of a judiciary that is independent, effective and efficient, and always respected by the people. We should deliver fair, impartial, and expeditious justice. So we were able to formulate an action program for judicial reform with the aid of the World Bank. And this action program for judicial reform became the most comprehensive judicial package, especially in the matter of delivery of effective justice and justice to the poor. So we provided for one of the components is access to justice by the poor.
Yes,
to help the poor really, because they are suffering a lot, especially in the Philippines, so much. And as you said earlier, it's about politics.
Yeah.
Well, there is no problem about politics because really, if only our politicians would adhere to the real principle of politics, nothing would have been wrong. Because politics is the art of good government, and whose aim is only the common good.
Yes.
But this time, the end is self-interest. That's your trouble. So it is really the greed for power, fame, and fortune. that has destroyed anything. So I do not blame them because
Is their priority?
it is part of our happening in our society. We have people who have become indifferent, meaning to say they lack already the energy to fight back, even if they are the source and author of sovereignty. And you have politicians taking advantage of the situation for themselves, not for the people. So, but an end will come to all of this because sooner or later, again, if only our people would keep on praying for good governance and demanding accountability from our public officials, there will be a total change.
And I think there's already a road towards that.
Yes,
little
yes,
by little,
definitely.
at least there's hope. So justice, we are clamoring for justice, sometimes very difficult. It's really very idealistic, but it seems realistically speaking, it's not going to
At
work.
least we have to approximate,
But
even
at
the
least,
minimum.
yes, at least kahit paano, meron naman, no, nakikita natin. So nakikita ko, with your expertise, with your experience, it's a good, representative of the Philippines sa United Nations. I'm very happy when I learned that it's you because I know magandang image natin sa Pilipinas kasi ang importante dito, irespeto tayo.
Yes.
No? Pag hindi tayo nirespeto, left and right ang tira sa atin when Filipino are good, good people.
We are
They
really
the
basically
best
good.
people, mababait lahat.
And the
because they
Filipinos
talk-
abroad
yeah.
are highly respected.
Yes,
As
this
a matter of fact, I met many ambassadors from the Islam countries.
Yes.
And they say, even our maids, our caregivers from the Philippines are even trying to inculcate on their children Christian values. So in other words, our overseas Filipino workers have become the best missionaries for our faith.
Yes, I agree with you. I witnessed that and I know, yun din ang sabi po ni Nuncio Padilla nung na-interview natin, na-advise niya na ang OFW are really the best example of practicing what is really faith. Everywhere they go, they bring that faith in them, no? Tama din po kayo. And I witnessed that also kung paano sila kumakapit sa Diyos amidst the loneliness, the problem that they encounter, disappointment, the abuses they encounter. Pero nagpapatibay sa kanila friendship and faith.
Yes.
No? Ngayon, so at least I'm happy na you have been there for 4 years, no, sa United Nations.
Actually, as ambassador, only 3 years.
3 years.
1 month and 5 days.
So, but it's very, very rich, no?
Yeah, but
at least you have contributed
within this period,
a lot.
I got a very good exposure to world affairs as related to national or local affairs.
That's why kailangan po tuloy-tuloy pa maging consultant pa rin kayo kasi at least you can share with them, di ba?
I developed that principle of thinking globally but acting locally.